Alrighty, Steeler Nation, welcome back to Steelers Nation Australia. No music today. No big intro. That's it. Season's done. It's all over. We do have in the comments a few people. We're going to talk today a lot of things, man. G'day Justin. G'day Daredevil. G'day Thomas. G'day Gene. Just going to jump right in today. No big intro. Nothing like that, man. It's crazy. Yesterday was an amazing time. Doing the live stream, had over 55 people. G'day, Gina. 55 people in their house watching our team versus the Bills. And I am proud. I'm pretty proud of the Steelers. Yes, it sucks that we lost. But overall, and I know that the debate's always there. It's like, I don't even need to talk about it anymore. There's pro and negative Tomlin, right? It's always there. But I'm pretty happy with that season. 10-7, we had a chance for the playoffs. We end up going through, when you think about it, to be honest to goodness, when you think about it, right? The Steelers going 10-7, they had a chance. They went to Mason Rudolph at quarterback. They had so many injuries on the defense. We saw some key players like Herbig and Benton, and JPJ had his time. I'm going to speak about the JPJ thing, by the way, too. I think it's absolute BS. I looked back at it last night. I went to work yesterday, did about 7 hours, came back, and I watched a few things with JPJ and Miles Jack and these penalties. And I think penalties had a big reason why we lost. Now we sucked, right? The Pittsburgh Steelers sucked. We weren't ready. They weren't tackling. But the flags overall were in favor of Buffalo Bills to let them organize a Buffalo Bills versus Chiefs matchup. It's just how the narrative works with the NFL. If you can't see it, I wish I didn't see it, because the more you look into it and the more you start to see the flags come out in random places, or how the Cowboys beat the Lions, and next minute you see the Lions versus Lions versus Rams. You think that's a coincidence that the Lions versus the Rams and Stafford got sent home by the Lions? Nah, man. This stuff is all organized. They play on the field, but a lot of times the refs kind of dictate certain teams to meet other teams. So in terms of Miles Jack and that hit on the quarterback, Josh Allen, absolute BS. How come that's flagged? Why is that flagged? And then the block in the back to JPJ, no flag, and he gets concussed, right? That should have been a flag. He got concussed, knock in the back, and then JPJ's out. But then a really soft two-hand touch or shoulder rollover, Josh Allen sells it. He sells it like he's playing WWE, and he gets a flag. The holding also on the player was not a holding. He milked the hell out of it. So there are some reasons why we lost that game because of the refs. There are also reasons why we lost the game was because the Pittsburgh Steelers are a poor team. They're not the greatest team. They had to go to Mason Rudolph. He played good, by the way. I thought he played good, but he also threw interceptions. And it's not the same days of like Big Ben when he was in his prime and going down the field. But even then, even with Big Ben, we were still losing playoff games. And now, yes, we have lost playoff games 5 times in a row. 5 times in a row. It sucks. I used to laugh at the Buffalo Bengals, the Cincinnati Bengals, because they've never won a Super Bowl, and they had a streak going for 7 or 8 times, and it was a 30-year drought. Now the Pittsburgh Steelers are approaching a 10-year, maybe a 15-year drought, something like that. So we haven't won when's the last time we won Super Bowl? 2008. So it's getting there. It's getting there. I understand that. I understand people want change. They want change for Mike Tomlin to be out. But then the big question is, who would you replace him with? Then also, Mike Tomlin's support crew is the players. If we respect TJ Watt and we respect Cameron Hayward, then we should hopefully respect their views. Cameron Hayward wants to play with Mike T for the rest of his career. TJ Watt said in his contract he only wants to play with Mike Tomlin in his contract. They're saying to you, right to the media, that I respect Coach Tomlin. I want him to be my coach. And sometimes football plays out the way it is. The Bills played a good game. We didn't play a good game. Next minute, it's all over, right? So I'll get to the chat in a minute. I go good on these rants, but it's all kind of it sucks. Losing sucks. It's not going to dwell on me for the rest of the 3 months of off-season talk and that kind of stuff, No, you go day by day, you move forward and you tackle the YouTube or work or whatever you may do or social life. And that's it. Like it comes down to only one team can win the Super Bowl. We didn't get it done. And we can sit here and keep blaming everyone, blame this guy, blame that guy, blame that guy. At the end of the day, we had to go to Buffalo. It got snowed out. The game was then forced into the next day, which I believe is probably the correct decision because it was really snowy and you didn't want a lot of fans on the road running around getting into mischief and also crashing their cars in the blizzard. So fine, that's okay. But the next day was clear blue skies. You're still in Buffalo. Buffalo fans are crazy. Buffalo played a great game. I give Josh Allen a lot of flack because he's like what's called a Mahav, like a Favre, and he does throw interceptions. We couldn't force them. We couldn't force any interceptions. We got a few sacks. We missed TJ. TJ is the team. He's 1-11 without him, and he got injured. And what do? It seems like every playoff game we have recently is always someone missing. Now, Big Ben versus the Chiefs, that was never going to work out. Chiefs are red hot that year. They carved us apart. TJ Watt ran down the field for a TD, and we got picked off. I think Big Ben got picked off. I'm going back to the Browns game. The Browns game, the football over your head, and then Big Ben, threw picks. So it's not always on Tomlin's fault. But I understand why. He is the head of the table, and he's always going to get that much pressure on him. Speaking of Mike Tomlin, right? Also with Mike Tomlin, people are now going at him because he walked away from a question. I'm okay with that. I think the media this year has been one of the worst we've ever seen it in sports media. The overall questions and clickbait articles and ideas and like small journalism outlets out there in Pittsburgh writing stories to say he might be doing this, he said this, we think DJ said that, is absolute fucking bullshit. I'm over it. As a fan, seeing the media like this, they're doing it just for clicks. On YouTube, you only see a certain amount of YouTube channels that are Steelers and fan base like myself. I'm a pure fan. I'm a fan since 2002. I don't have any journalism degree, and I don't want any, because what they're doing is they're trying to trick you in every single video. Every single video, they try and say, DJ said this, Najee said that, Cameron Hayward said this, and they try and spin a story. They did it all year, up and down all year. I do my videos where I try and support the team and get behind them. But a lot of guys out there in the media, and with Mike Tomlin walking away, it's not that bad. Honestly, it really isn't that bad. He was asked a question about his 1-year contract. First of all, the guy being Coach Tomlin, he just finished his season. He just got eliminated. He just lost the game where his season is over. You think he wants to answer that question? It's like getting asked, who's going to be your next girlfriend if you just lost your girlfriend for in a car accident, or if you just lost your family member or something like that. Who's your next pet going to be? Who's your next girlfriend or boyfriend going to be at that stage? It makes no sense. Why would you ask that question right then and there when the season's over? And Mike Tomlin was not worried about that question. He wants to go home and digest everything that happened. He failed. Mike Tomlin failed the Pittsburgh Steelers. You think he wants to answer that? So I have nothing against Mike Tomlin walking away and saying, you know what? I'm not going to answer it. I'm not going to answer it. It boggles my mind. The media loves his stuff. They're like, now, what's your perception of Mike Tomlin? All these kind of questions come through. But a lot of the media guys are on YouTube and they have the platform and they have this kind of stuff. But they're doing it to and some are okay, but they're doing it to get your attention and click and create controversy and rumors that's not there. That's one of the most frustrating parts, I think, about the new social media and media in general. And I appreciate the 14 people that are in here. But what is happening right now is we always seem to jump on something. It was on Pickens. It was on DJ. It was on Matt Canada. It was on Mike Tomlin. It was on Kenny Pickett. They took a still picture of Kenny Pickett on the sidelines doing this. And they said, Kenny Pickett doesn't support or love his team. How do you know that? How do you know that by a picture? You know what I'm saying? These things are so far-fetched from something so small that we don't really have any real connection to the team. All we see is the players on the field. We see the players in the locker room. We see the players in press conferences. We don't know their relationship. So when TJ Watt and Cameron Hayward comes out and says, I support my coach, you better believe they support their coach. And then other guys have been saying, I've been a fan for 65 years. Coach Noel and Cower, they would have done better. We would have won with Big Ben. It's all crap talk, man. It's all crap. Like, you can be a fan for 65 years. It doesn't mean you're a GM. I'm not a GM. At some stage, though, we kind of have to get behind our team and just support them. Even when they lose, and this time, as years go on, I've been a fan now for 24 years, 25 years, right? And yes, I've seen 2 great Super Bowls. You look back and go, Super Bowl 40, what a wild ride that was, with Randall throwing a pass to Hines Ward, with Jerome Bettis, the bus, getting his one. And then you have James Debo Harrison in 43 running down the sidelines, 99 yards. How fucking awesome were those 2 Super Bowls in a time where you're like, it is hard to win one. 12 teams have never won one. So you look back, and people call him mediocre Mike because he hasn't won one in 20 years, right? But you look back going to 40 and 43. We've got 2. It's super fucking hard to win a Super Bowl. It's really hard to win a Super Bowl. And I'm talking that 32 teams in the NFL, 12 teams have never won one, never. And there are 4 teams who have never been, including the Lions and also the Houston Texans, who are the 8 teams left. And here we are saying that Mike needs to go. He needs to be fired yesterday, or the last 6 years need to be fired. He's mediocre Mike. He's terrible. He's awful. But the players back him up. That's the one thing I can't understand. The players back him up, and yet the fan base doesn't do so. Half the fan base says we're with him, and half the fan base says, you know what? I'm totally against him. I hope they get rid of him. Then I'd say, who do you replace him with? Because 2 Super Bowls, and yes, he did win without Cow's players. Cow's players was 1 or 2 years removed, or 1 year removed, and it was about 45% of the roster was Cow's players. Mike Tomlin then drafted other guys, or people came into it, but he still leads them to victory. And yes, it was ages ago, but there's just so much, to me, so much drama and heat around the coaching position not even year by year, game by game, right? Where was the praise and overall good times around Mike Tomlin that you had the 3 games? We lost 3 games. Yes, that sucked. But then we went and beat the Seahawks, the Bengals, and the Ravens. Went 5-1 in the division, one of the hardest divisions in the NFL, if not the hardest division in the NFL, right? Where's the praise and good luck for Mike Tomlin? At the same time, we go to the playoffs and we lose. And then all the heat's back on Tomlin again. So no wonder the guy walked out. Why would he want to field that question? Why would he want to field that question from Brooke Pryor? Nothing against her. But why would you want to field that question saying, what about your 1 year left in your contract? Will it be this? He doesn't want to talk about it. He wants to go home to his wife and just figure some things out. At the same time now, but we do hear reports that he is coming back. Man, I know I'm fired up, but this stuff to me is sometimes I think we overanalyze so many things, and the media gets involved. And I'm on social media, and I'm really happy that I'm here to be part of the Steelers community, and I get to have my voice. And if you agree with me, sweet. If you disagree with me, fine. But I feel like everything is just sometimes overblown. We lost. You move on. You go into the offseason. You figure things out with Kenny Pickett. You go and maybe you draft a guy at quarterback. If Mason Rudolph wants to come back, maybe offer him a contract to be QB2, possibly QB1, where you have a chance to fight it out. You go into the offseason and get some more O-line help. We went into Omar Khan had a good offseason, bringing all the friends. You know, I thought Peterson played well throughout the year, and then he plays one bad game in the playoffs, and we will hate him. Miles Shack played really well coming off the couch the last 3 games, and then he has a few penalties and this kind of stuff, and then we hate him. I don't understand how we go back and forth so much. Like so much. We're on so many good plays. Eric Rowe played really well for 3 games, and then he starts playing poor where they miss tackles and we didn't show up, and then we hate him. It just boggles my mind. Anyways, I'll go to the comments because I am fired up. Holy dearly. What's going on? That is the weirdest name I've ever seen in my life. Nothing against your name. G'day, Justin. What's up? Anyways, I won't read all the comments, but I hope I agree. I hope I made some sense in that rant, because that helps me get my point out rather than just reading all the comments over and over. But it is to me frustrating that we just tend to criticize someone so harshly because they lost this one, or they call them mediocre Mike, but he's giving us a chance to get to the playoffs. And you know what? At the same time, if you have been complaining for a very long time, maybe don't watch. I'm not saying not to be a fan, but if he annoys you that much, if Mike Tomlin annoys you that much, where you are like angry and you're throwing your coffee cup on the ground, you're scrunching up paper balls and tossing them in the wall, you're throwing bricks against the wall, maybe don't watch. If he's that bad to you, and that's why I'm sick of the argument. I'm really sick of the argument of this one, that one. It just gets me all crazy, man. Anyways, I hope you guys are doing well. You're doing very well. Gina in the house too. G'day, Steel Guy 808. G'day, Chloe in the house. G'day, JJ52. What's up? And I've read Travis in the house too. So I just saw the Gracie comment. I saw that too. I saw that there was a comment about that as well. G'day, Yoda. Travis says Steelers must find a way to win games without what the stuff where Steelers can't win. It is inexcusable. Well, not really. I understand your point. G'day, Darkstorm. I understand your point about there's ideas for everything, really, right? TJ Watt not playing. He's our highest paid defensive player. It's probably a bit like the Chiefs, right? You've got Mahomes. Travis is a Chiefs supporter here, and you've got Mahomes as your quarterback. If you don't have Mahomes, your highest paid player, then you should be then if you don't lose if you have put another quarterback back there, is that inexcusable? I disagree with that. TJ Watt, I was hoping that we'd have some good play at outside linebacker. Nick Herbig is a rookie. Marcus Golden filled in as a vet. Highsmith should have stepped up, but the Bills took care of it. They took care of it. By the way, too, Josh Allen was running past us and they couldn't stop us. So to say it's inexcusable, I disagree. On this point, I disagree. Because the fact is, with Mahomes being your quarterback, if he's not there, are you winning games? Probably not. Mahomes is the Chiefs. It's like Lamar Jackson. When he's out, they're the Ravens, right? So without TJ Watt, it's the reason why the record is 1-11 is because he's so valuable towards our team. And that's why as well that TJ Watt should be Defensive Player of the Year because he is that valuable towards our team. So I disagree with that one. Dead set. But I do want to keep g'day Matt, what's going on? I do want to comment one more thing on this. 100%. That's what we forget. Ramon Foster today, it is when you really think about it, right? And that's why even as a kid, I've got another point I want to make. Even as a kid, I look back at 40, Super Bowl 40, Randall L, Hines Ward, Big Ben. What was it, his second year playing? That defense was on fire, right? It was fun. It was super fun to be a Steelers fan. It's always fun now, but it was really fun to be a Steelers fan. And you think about this stuff. It's hard. There's 32 teams in the NFL. Depends on the draw, depends where you stand, depends who you play. The Steelers, did their best to get to the playoffs, and we had to play the Bills. The Bills are a good side. I was hoping we could knock them off. But at the same time, every year, it's very hard to go back to back to back. And the teams that do go back to back to back to back are the Buffalo Bills when they lost 4 in a row. Got to sneak that in there. So, yes, it is hard to win a Super Bowl. And these players, we always think on paper, these players are going out there training every single day. They're doing weights, they're doing running, we're working on their craft. They're trying to be the best that they can be. They're running head on head with the other players and smashing into each other. We forget sometimes the physicality of the actual game. We look to the paper and go, well, this team versus that team, we should beat them. Steelers versus Arizona, we should beat them. No, they showed up. Arizona Cardinals showed up and took us to town and beat us. The overall hype for the Pittsburgh Steelers, that was Steelers versus 49ers, and we had a new team in the offseason, Omar Khan, the genius, all these kind of things. We were so hyped up. I was like, let's take care of Brock Purdy. No way, Jose. Brock Purdy and the 49ers took us to town. Then schematics come into it, scheme and coaching, all these kind of things come into it. Even with the game versus the Bills yesterday, it's George Pickens having a fumble. Is that on coaching? Right? Is it these bad penalties it's my other point. These bad penalties with Miles Jack and JPJ getting hit in the back. Is that on coaching? No. It's on the narrative of the game. It's on the refs that are throwing flags, that are trying to keep it close, but not too close, and allow the Bills to win and give them a chances, right? Now, Mason Rudolph can't do it all by himself. They need a better O-line protection. They need a better run game. But then at the same time, Mason Rudolph can't throw picks like that. You know what I'm saying? We had the block field goal. That went down. Nick Herbig went down there and it got us back into the game. It was a little bit of hope. But at the end of the day, the Bills played better. They got calls going their way. We weren't physical enough. You're allowing Josh Allen to run through the middle of the field and no one's tackling him. And he went to do like a fake slide or a fake juke or whatever it may be, and he ran all the way. So Peterson, Minka just came back from his injury. Maybe he wasn't ready to go. Maybe he was a little bit rusty. Kazi might have been a bit rusty. We played better. Not saying they're bad players, but we played better without those players. Without Kazi and Minka back there. Played better with Peterson in the safety role and Eric Rowe playing safety too. Played much better. And then JPJ, when he went out, you had to put in, I think it was Pierre went in, and you had Levi Wallace, who's been non-existent all year. So people will always go back to coaching. They'll always say, back in my day in the 1970s, 60s, or whatever it may be, I would never stand for this. Coach Noll would never stand for this. It's different. It's now been, 70-odd years since 1959, 60. Life is different. Social media is different. Everything about the Pittsburgh Steelers is overall different. The game is different. You can't hit anyone anymore. You're not allowed. Kazi can't hit anyone. Roberts can't hit anyone. Nothing like that. Mark Robinson, the way he plays, will probably get fined. Miles Jack will probably get fined. It's just crazy to me that how over analytical we are on these things. One of the most frustrating parts as a Steelers fan, and I can agree with everyone in this part. Yes, it is annoying. It is overall annoying that the Pittsburgh Steelers have not won a playoff game since 2016. That sucks, right? But then if you come back a little minute, it does suck. It's not fun. We should be winning stuff. The standard. 6 Super Bowls. We've been here, we've been there, been everywhere. I understand that stuff. I'm not being an apologist. I'm a supporter. And I'm also, people say, they talk about being realist. Like, I'm a realist. The Steelers should do this. If you're a realist, think about it. There's 1 in 32 teams have a chance for the Super Bowl. And the Steelers came third in a division that was everyone above 500, right? We lost a few games here and there, but it's hard-nosed football all the time. And you can't tell me that these players didn't try their heart out all year. Najee went through his things. Warren was the undrafted guy into his second year, now going third. Muth had some injuries. We've had some of the O-line got banged up. We had Chooks on the right for one time. Then Broderick Jones was on the right too. He came in. I thought he played well. So it's not over. It's just to me, I think if we expect to win every single year, you're crazy. You want to win. You hope to win every year. As a fan, you're like, I hope we win every single year. But if you're realistic and say, well, we have to, like Coach Tomlin needs to win one, it's friggin' hard, man. It's tough. There are still only now? Bill Belichick and Andy Reid have got 2. Everyone else who has got a Super Bowl, they've only got 1, right? Now, Bill Belichick has now moved from the Patriots. He's going to go somewhere else, and someone stepped up. So Steelers fans will be like, well, maybe we should move him from Mike Tomlin. Could be a possibility. The same time is though, if they go and get an OC, if they bring him in, they're going to try and pair that with Mike Tomlin and probably give Mike Tomlin an extension for 3 years and then pair that with the OC. They're not trying to move into getting Kenny Pickett to be the guy. People are out on Pickett, but so many people were also out on Mason Rudolph. What happens then? Mason Rudolph comes back, and when he struggles yesterday, I saw around Twitter, I saw put Kenny in. I'm just boggled. I'm overall boggled my mind. I'm like, for so many years, you didn't want Mason Rudolph. You're saying fire Mason Rudolph. You give him 2 years, and I've always been a supporter of Mason Rudolph for 6 years now. And then when he starts playing bad, you're like, put Kenny in. I'm like, it's the exact same scenario. The exact same thing. And now with Kenny, everyone's off on Kenny. It's like, okay, let's give Kenny a real OC. And I will say this, I'll be very critical right now of the organization. They fucked up. They fucked up with Matt Canada. They fucked up with Mitch Trubisky. Sorry for my language, but it helps my point, right? They fucked up on those kind of things. On Canada and Trubisky. Why would you bring in Trubisky when you know you have Rudolph there? Yes, that's a problem. That happened. They also fucked up in terms of Arizona Cardinals loss and the Patriots loss for the first time in NFL history, where they're the only team to lose back-to-back games towards teams who are 2-10 with an 8-game difference. The only team in the NFL to ever do that. And that's now connected to Mike Tomlin. So Mike Tomlin also has his never had losing seasons, And I think that is a good, actually, some fans don't like that, but you think about it. Imagine if you're a coach and you're coaching your team and you've never been below 500. That's pretty good. But I understand how you want to have Super Bowls, and the only way you get there is by going to the playoffs. So therefore, you got to have a high record to go to the playoffs. The one thing is, the one big monkey on the Pittsburgh Steelers' back, not only Mike Tomlin or the organization, the one big thing is, it really is, to be very honest, it is the playoff win. They just seemed, whatever it may be, if it's the teams they're versing, the injuries we may have, the scheme, or maybe the preparation from the coaching staff, it does seem like they just can't get that done. That is one thing that I will agree with you, right? I do believe in Mike Tomlin that he can press this team forward to go to the playoffs again next year and hopefully win a division. And by the way, we beat the Ravens twice. I don't care if they had backup players or not. We had enough plays and chances to get there to win the division this year. We fell short, but Mike Tomlin always gives this team a chance. And that's why TJ Watt and Cameron Hayward and Troy Polamalu came out and said, I'm going to back him, right? The media backs him. Some of the media, only like 25% of the fan base says, nah, he's terrible, he's shit, he's awful. And you know what? You can have that opinion. That's it. If there's someone out there who made 26 minutes in, write down in my comments, fire Tomlin 26 times. That's fine. I've now learned how to not go back and forth in the comments with in that argument, because I don't want to have the argument. I'll have my say right here. You have your say in the comments, and we'll leave it at that. But the thing is, for me, with Mike Tomlin and this team, he does give this Steelers team the best chance to win, right? And I'm happy with this season. It's 10-7. They played pretty good football going near the end. We had a chance. I was hyped up. I was keen. I was like, Mason Rudolph time, let's go. The redemption of Rudolph, time to ride the sleigh all the way to Vegas, and then it fell short. And then once it falls short, everyone craps on Tomlin. They crap on the team. This year, they're going to crap on Kenny Pickett. That we're going to go through the draft process probably right now, 17 of January. They're going to go, you know what? It's draft talk. Right? I can't do any draft talk. All right. What's going on? Oh, g'day, Pepper. What's going on? G'day, Derpy. Let me play some fireworks. Have a bit of a drink. I'll come back and answer some questions. That was good. I needed that. I definitely needed that. All righty, fire. Do I have fireworks? Oh yeah. Alrighty. I did it by accident. That was a lot of fun. I can't even remember what I said. I cannot even remember what I said. I just had to get it off my chest. I had to. It's just the way I see it. For this channel, Steel Nation Oz, and I appreciate all the viewers, the people who comment, the support, all that kind of stuff. The community, I appreciate stuff, right? And I get it. If it's like at a comedy club, if I was on stage and I told the wrong joke, people wouldn't agree with me, right? But if I said the right joke, they might agree with me. So that's how life works. I know I'm not for everyone. I know it's like whatever. But I honestly, goodness, it just helps me. It helps me with my Steelers stuff. The way I see it, it's not that bad. We went 10-7. It was a crazy ride. It was a fun ride. We had a chance for the playoffs. We had a chance with Mason Rudolph, and it all just ended. Right? It ended badly. We got stonewalled. We couldn't stop the run. By the way, James Cook cooked us up. Seeing the Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen, take us apart too. That was I can't stand that. When I see a guy like that run like that, I'm like, just tackle him, and you can't hit him. So yes, it's not. Yeah, that's right. Let Ben be the best option. Yeah. What does we say here? With you being in the summer, do you get any sort of special enjoyment? I do actually. Yeah, it makes me feel colder. Yeah, so like when it's really hot, I don't mind watching the Steelers versus Bills in snow games because I like the cold, right? To me, I'd rather be cold and try and get warm than I would be really hot, like 35 or 100 degrees Fahrenheit, and then try and get colder. Today's not too bad. It's nice. It's a bit cloudy. It's about like probably 70 degrees or 65 degrees, something like that, maybe 70 in Fahrenheit. And when I see them, it's always fun. I lived in Canada for a year and a half. I love the snow. I always liked making snowballs, or I like seeing when you walked outside. Possibility, man. I'm gonna try. I'll tell you. I'll tell you why. When I walked outside, I would see the snow, bank up, and it was just not touched. Something, I don't know why. I'm a bit of a weird cat, but when I see like snow on like a table, and overnight it just snows in the right place, and nothing touches it, it's pristine. It's like clean, clear. It's always it's a weird enjoyment for me. I don't know what it is. It's like seeing like a bunch of snow on a lamp, like a telegraph pole. It just sits there and nothing's touched it. Or when you see like a bunch of snow in a paddock or whatever, and it's all just clean, crisp, drops where it drops. It's something really what's the word, aesthetically pleasing for me to watch. Or when I see like a table, you put your handprint in, I'm like, oh, that's cool. So snow's always been very what's the word? Probably annoying for a lot of people out there in America. You guys have it all the time. But I've only ever really seen snow once, one time in my life, and that was for about 6 months or 7 months. So yeah, Thomas says 24-hour stream this year, hopefully next year. My goal, dead set, is to get to 10,000 subscribers. When I get to 10,000 subscribers, so share, comment, like, all that kind of YouTube stuff. When I get there, I will be doing a 24-hour stream, 100%. I got to figure out how to do it, but this year I'm going more. I'm going to work as hard as I can. I'm going to try and cover as many Steelers topics as I can. Do as many lives that have meaning. Not just doing lives without meaning, but I'm going to work as hard as I can with my in comparison to my real job. And I want to get to 10,000. I believe I can get there. I've got 2,000 something subs in 3 years, and I know how YouTube kind of works now. And if you do certain things certain ways, and yes, I will need to push the rumor mill a little minute, but not the way that the media clickbait sports does it, or what? No, sorry, that's Tom Grossi's show. Like clickbaiters do it, but you got to push a certain thing. So if there is ideas around, I've heard like Russell Wilson or Justin Fields, you guys are talking about in the chat. Would he come to Pittsburgh? Then yeah, I'll make a video saying, should the Steelers go and get Russell Wilson? Should the Steelers go and get Justin Fields? I just won't do things like, the Pittsburgh Steelers sign Justin Fields, and then they haven't done that. You'll never see any clickbait stuff. Actually, clickbait is actually, I got thrown out the other day. Someone said to me, oh, you did clickbait. And I was like, well, I needed to grab your attention somehow. I said that with the script video. I was like, this NFL scripted the Steelers to win or something I said, right? I got to do it somehow. If I don't have a sexy title or a sexy thumbnail, then nobody clicks. Then if no one clicks, no one watches, the community doesn't grow. So you got to do it a fine line where it's like you're not pissing off the audience, and also you're doing it to where you're intriguing the audience. You'd be like, what's in the box? If I had a box here, right? If I had a box, I don't know. If I had a box, in the corner of my room, and I said, what's in the box? Or a box, and I said, at 3,000 subs, I'll open what's in the box. Then people would be like, intrigued about, ooh, what's in the box? So you have to do that. You've got to do that on YouTube to a certain degree. Now, I won't do it where you'll see Mike Tomlin fired, exclamation mark, and it's just you're running with it too much. But I'll do it to a certain degree where I need to intrigue the readers, the viewers, that kind of stuff. So, yes, long story short, 24-hour stream will happen when I hit 10,000 subs. Alrighty. G'day, Justin. What's going on? Yeah, 76. I don't know what that is for me. 76 Fahrenheit to... I think it's about the same for me. Yeah, we're the same. So me and Steeler Girl has the exact same weather. It's about 23 degrees, 24 degrees right now. Not happening. The wheel's not coming back. This is going to be all Steelers talk, but a real all Steelers talk. Yeah. I've been to Erie too, man. Erie's really cold. I was there with my dad. Really cold over that way. 24 here. Is that you saying 24 Celsius? 15. Okay, cool. Yeah, that helps me too. When you guys speak in Celsius, it's much easier. Yeah. I think they're all Celsius. True. But yeah, pretty much, guys, that was my really all I wanted to cover today was the Tomlin stuff. Because one more thing as well. Well, actually, one more big point. I will not be covering the NFL draft until March 1st. Around that time. That's it. Like I'm not talking anything about the draft. So when's the draft? NFL 2024 draft. Right? I do know we have the 20th pick. So April 25th, right? Okay, that's when the draft is on. So we got January, we have February, and yeah, probably around March. I'd say whenever the combine is, around near the combine, around like the last week, the last week of February to the last week of March is when I'll start doing conversations about the draft. Now we can talk about, should the Steelers go and get center? Should they go and get, I don't know, a quarterback? Should they go and do this stuff, man? Multiple sherbets. Well, I'm hoping. I'm hoping that I win the tickets, that I win the International Fan of the Year for Steelers. I get to go over. That'd be fantastic, right? Where was it? This one. I'm really hoping I win this. If I can win this, I'm really hoping I get this. So I put this out there, sign up for a competition, and this is going to Detroit. So International Fan of the Year, are you the biggest NFL fan of the year? You could win a trip to the 2024 draft. So I'm hoping that my answers were good enough. Where am I? Oh my goodness. My answers were good enough. I did 2 videos and 1 comment for an answer. I sent it to the NFL, and I'm going to find out, I think, in February after the Super Bowl. If I get a call or an email saying, Mark, you've won, you get to go to Detroit, I'll be taking everyone with me. And I mean, like when I say that, like, video form. So that'd be awesome. So I think we have the overall 20th pick overall. Did I copy it down the other day? No, I didn't. But we do. I saw a Twitter the other day. We have the 20th pick overall. And of course, there are so many pressing needs. There are pressing needs like center. What's going to happen with Mason Cole? Is he going to be out? There are pressing needs with probably more offensive linemen for depth. There are pressing needs with maybe middle linebacker or safety could be an idea. But I have no idea who even the top prospects are. And at this point, I don't even care. I don't care. Some crazy hair? Yeah. I just put it up. I just got my comb out. Yeah. If I win, if I win, I get to go to Detroit. Still go. I'll pack my bags. Yeah, I get to take one person. I've got an idea for that as well. But yeah, if I win the International Fan of the Year, I get to go. They fly me to Detroit, go to the draft for 4 or 5 days, and I'm not too sure if I'm going to sneeze. Oh my goodness! How many times have I sneezed on this channel? My picture? Oh, okay, 1 second. What do you mean? Where was it? Which one is it? Wait, this one? Oh yeah! You mean that one? No, not that one. Not that one. Where was it? Oh yeah! That one there. Yeah, so that was me. Me on the right-hand side, I'm holding a terrible towel. I was in Houston. That was when, all right. We talk about the last playoff game the Steelers lost the last playoff game the Steelers won was versus the Chiefs. And then the week after we versed the Steelers versus Patriots, I was in Canada at the time. I was living in Canada in 2016. I was like 26 years of age. Now I'm like 34. So 8 years ago. 8 years ago. That's crazy. I was much skinnier in the face and probably body than back then. So 8 years ago, I went to Houston because I was living in Banff, and me and my mate Brady, I said to my mates, I want to go to Super Bowl 51 because I went to Super Bowl 50. So I booked tickets to go to Houston, and when I was there, I was hoping the Steelers would play the Falcons. They didn't. They got absolutely carved up by the Patriots and Tom Brady and Chris Hogan and the rest. We know the rest. That was that game, the Jaguars game. So we've lost now 5 in a row. And every time too, by the way, or most times they've scored like over 30 points, which is bad. But yes, I was over there in Houston. I got a picture. So I'm hoping that I can win the International Fan of the Year and represent Australia. I want to represent. Yeah, I want to represent three things: Australia, Pittsburgh, and Steeler Nation. Three things. That's what I want to do. I know I don't live in Pittsburgh, but I want to represent that, and I want to represent Australia and the Steelers too. So that's what we do it for. All right. Anyone got any questions or what? Any questions? He's got a little brother. Hold up. Hippen Hammer. Wait. What's his name? He's got a brother. Oh, now I'm sneezing. Oh my! Hang on. Hold up. Excuse me. Hippenhammer's got a little brother. That's fantastic. Mac Hippenhammer. I don't know what his brother's name is. Has one brother, Alex. Cool. Is Hippenhammer? Is he still part of the Bengals? He could be still part of the Bengals too. Gina says, I don't want to see Tomlin leave if he goes to the Cowboys or Chargers and then they win Super Bowl. Oh my god. Same. I still find it funny. Like when Mike Tomlin does leave, right? When Mike Tomlin does leave, you better believe I'm talking about that whoever the new coach is, I don't care who the new coach is, whoever the new coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers is, then I'll be saying they won with Mike Tomlin's players. I can't wait to say that. They always say that the Steelers won, or Mike Tomlin won with Coach Cowher's players. When Mike Tomlin does leave, the next season after, if it is Coach Bob Magoo won with Tomlin's players. That's what I'm going to say. True. Yeah, I've heard Russell Wilson too. I don't know if Russell Wilson's going to be ours. I think the way the quarterback will be, room will be, they'll probably reach out to Rudolph. They'll probably offer him a contract. He'll go yes or no depending on the money. Rudolph might try and go into other teams because he's shown the NFL that he can play. And everyone gave up on him except the Steelers gave him a chance. And they put him at 3. And they made a mistake by putting him at 3. Should have been 2. And even then, Steeler Nation was all up in arms. Remember the start of the year when Steeler Nation was like, oh, quarterback, why is Rudolph above Kenny Pickett? He should be 3. And now we're like, why is Kenny Pickett quarterback 1? Rudolph should be 1. You can't make this stuff up. So yes, I don't know if Russell Wilson's going to come to the Steelers or any big name free agent because they don't normally do that kind of stuff. But it wouldn't put it surprise me if they were to reach out a contract to Rudolph. And I think as well with Trubisky, I think his time is done. They'll find a way to get rid of his contract and probably rid of him. I don't know if they're going to bring Trubisky back to be quarterback number 2. We've already seen that when Kenny Pickett does go down, that there's no point having Trubisky there to fill that void to be number 2. If anything, you cut Trubisky's contract, and then you put Rudolph in. You give him better money, and you say, Rudolph, we want you to be the backup, and just in case if Kenny doesn't work out, we'll put you at 1. That could be a possibility. But the quarterback thing, man, it's so different now. I did see some Browns fans were laughing about that the Steelers have quarterback problems. I'm like, man, we don't have anything the way that you guys had it. And even then, too, it was pretty funny that the Browns lost, and it still is funny. They can laugh at us now, so they can laugh at us for stuffing up and having all the hype to go to the Bills and try and win that game. But at the same time, they were riding all their eggs in one basket was Jack Flacco, and that didn't pan out. And he threw 2 pick sixes, and it was all over. So the Browns are in a really bit of a hell now too. They have a pretty good side, a good defense. If Nick Chubb comes back 100%, good running game, all those kind of things, right? At the same time, is though, who's their quarterback? Are they going to go with Watson? They put so much money into Watson. Do they go with DTR, Dorian Thompson-Robinson? Do they go with him being the second-year guy? Do they bring back Jack Flacco, who's like 39 years of age or 40 years of age? It's crazy. Even the Bengals now too. Bengals are in a bit of a situation where they put a lot of money into Burrow. Jake Browning showed out he could play. Is he going to be back up, or Jake Browning, does he go around the NFL? You know what? For the sake of, they talk about Taylor Swifties, for the sake of Jake Browning and his fantastic wife, I hope that Jake Browning signs with us. We sign Jake Browning just so I can see Mrs. Browning That's that sounds bad. Now I'm cancelled. Mrs. Browning press box, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, hang on. I was coughing in my throat. Yeah, I hope that we sign Browning. So I saw those videos. I saw what you was wearing. Nah, it's Pepper. It was Pepper. Have you not seen? Have you not seen her? Anyways, uh, what that girl was looking at you? Which girl was looking at me? You reckon? Thomas, yes, 100%. So JJ52 says, go Texans, go Stroud. I'm going for Texans, and I'm going for also go for the Lions too. Texans versus Lions, got to beat the Ravens, see what happens too. Thomas says, I bet Tomlin will get extended with a new. I think so too. I think that he's staying for the next year because it's 1 year contract, and then they will sign Tomlin for 3 years. They'll bring in an OC, depending who it is. We don't know who it is. And then we start to see what happens with Kenny Pickett, and hopefully we can start to win some Super Bowls, and they can get Darnell moving, and I think Frymouth will be hopefully a steal if he plays good football. And yeah, it's like a new offseason. We got a lot to talk about in the offseason. G'day, Yuli. What's going on? Did I miss him? Yuli says, yo. There you go. And Joe Mario says, Mark, not sure if you're aware of. I heard about this in the Hall of Fame, Kenton, Ohio. There's a whole village. Wait. Imagine the draft being there. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, so they had in the Hall of Fame, they had the Pittsburgh Steelers have like a certain section for their era. So I've been there once. It was awesome. Right. Yeah, me neither. Yeah. Yeah, no. So I know I want to look. Every team has problems. No team in the NFL, right? The Philadelphia Eagles got done by Baker Mayfield. Shout out to Baker Mayfield, man. Every team has problems, right? They just do. Not everyone's perfect. Also in life, not everyone's perfect. I know I try and bring back Steelers content back to life content where you want to do better, you want to do the best that you can, but not everyone's perfect, man. Our Steelers for sure are not perfect. They ran the rock really well with Najee and Warren. We thought something was going to happen, and then it all fell to bits. That three game run, we thought we got a chance. We had no TJ Watt, no defense, and it all fell to bits. But guys like the Browns have never been to a Super Bowl. They've been in championship games. Bengals have never been there. Been there 3 times. Chiefs are looking to get another one, and Mahomes is crazy, but the Bills could beat them. You might have the Ravens beat Texans. They might have a chance to get to win their second or third. The Eagles got done. Eagles were a powerhouse team this year with Jalen Hurts and doing the tush push and getting TDs, and they fell apart. The Cowboys were, boosted up to be one of the best teams in the NFL, and they fell apart. So it's just how the NFL works. I think we jump on this stuff. We just get too over stressed about these things. Like just got to go with it. We lose, sucks. But if we won yesterday, fuck, that would have been good. If we won yesterday, it would have been fantastic. It would have been like, man, it's Jack Flacco versus Mason Rudolph, and TJ would have came back, and it would have been so much fun. The thing was, though, we couldn't get the job done. But you know what? I want to give some shout outs to some players, man. Like I've been saying his name all year. Goodwin Iwebuike, he's played good on returns. Miles Boykin, he's played good on returns as the gunner. And the other gunner was James Pierre. The Steelers the whole year did not let up a punt return. The whole year, the Steelers punt return coverage was like 5.8 yards or something like that, something really small. On the other side, though, Presley Harvin, he's probably out. They do have Brad Wing on the roster, but you need someone else. They need they don't have to trade for a punter, but you've got to work out 4 or 5, 6 punters this year and try and get someone else because Presley Harvin was so inconsistent. His job is almost done, and maybe over the next few weeks, I'll talk about what players' jobs are lost and who's done and all those kind of things. But we kind of know even Levi Wallace, he probably could be out because Corey Trice will have a chance with JPJ next to him. Will Peterson come back in his last year, or will his contract be done? Cameron Hayward, it looks like he's coming back, but he's like near the end of his career. So a few things like that, where they're up in the air, man. They're up in the air. What's going to happen in the middle linebacker situation? You got Cole Holcomb getting healthy? Quan Alexander was on a 1-year deal, I think. Atlanta Roberts, I think he should come back for a run because the way he played and the way he stepped up. So a lot of guys like Calvin Austin, I think he played some good reps right near the end, got that TD, and he started to really fire up in the receiving game. And DJ is like the other guy too. Do they go and trade away DJ and then draft a younger bloke, and maybe some other teams they need a receiver, so you trade away him, and then you get some capital back and draft guys. There's so much to happen, but I am super proud. I'll end soon, guys. I'm super proud of this team. I don't overly care. If you lose, you move on. I'm going to work. I'm going to go to work tonight. I'm going to play pickleball. I'm going to move on, and that's it. And I'll try and do. My goal is to try and do 2 lives or maybe 3 lives a week, depending how what we can talk about, because we can't always just talk about losing sucks. But 3 lives a week, and hopefully 3 or 4 videos a week tackling key issues and off-season stuff along the way. Dude, it's a lot of fun. It's so much fun. Gianova says he wants to be a punter. Dead set. Yeah, I do too. I know. Oshesky we cut him and then he had like a great return. I agree with you. I've been trying to be a fan of his, but he's so inconsistent, so very inconsistent. And I'm not saying that Brad Wing is the turnaround either. JJ52 says the Eagles went 10-1. It's crazy. They went 10. Wait, did they really? They went 10-1 and they lost all the games. Well, I don't even know. How bad was their season? Did they go? What did they lose? Oh my goodness! So they won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games in a row. They lost 5-1. 1, 2. You're right. You're so right. They went 10-1, and then they went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 losses. They beat the Giants, and then they lost in the playoff game. Yeah, so the Eagles just fell apart completely. Like completely. Whereas the Pittsburgh Steelers on the other side, they lost 3, won 3, had a chance for the playoffs for a big run, and that was it. So 100%. Not everyone's perfect. And if people do say they are perfect, yeah, you know what, dude? Shout out to Baker. Shout out to Baker, man. I think he got thrown under a bus. I'm not saying I want to see. I'd rather see the Lions win, but you know what's funny? How we did spin the wheel and I stuffed it up. I think you had the Bucks right in a spin the wheel, Dante, and I had the Texans or vice versa. I can't remember, but I put my money. I put $100 down on the Texans by mistake, so I mixed the wheel up. So we have those 2 teams are in it. The Buccaneers, who no one's thinking about. But shout out to Baker Mayfield, man. He definitely has been thrown under the bus in the Browns. He's got like a new life over there. Even though I never see NFC South football. I never see that too. Yeah, I can see it too. Dead set. Yeah, they got that. Man, I think we did better. Like out of all the losing teams, the Browns and Cowboys showed themselves. They were like embarrassing. We weren't that embarrassing. Dead set. Oh, excuse me. I hope so. I've got money on them now. I got like $100 to win like 15,000 or something. It's crazy. All righty, guys, start to wrap it up. Yeah, he's been proved not guilty. So his story is insane. So he's been improved not guilty. Dead set. G'day, Jamie. What's going on? I thought you saw a blonde girl. Nah, I didn't see any girls. It was Texans. Yeah, Texans. And I should have, the way I did it, technically the Bucks should have won. The random generator should have been the Bucks because, yeah, I mixed it up. Yeah, that's it. All right, guys, let's get out of here. That's pretty much my wrap today. I do want to say thank you to everyone in the chat. It's going to be a good season, and we're getting through this, like we're out. Like the Steelers are done. Like we are done. We can't watch next week. If we do watch playoff games, and I don't think I'll be streaming any, I might stream the Super Bowl, but I don't think I'll be doing any other ones because I want to try and focus on. I think like 15,000. I think I'm pretty sure like 15,000, something like that. I got to check. I don't know. They were like I put $100 on. Yeah, what's 100? Hang on. What's 100 times 150? Yeah, 50. Shit. Yeah, I put $100 on 150. Yeah, like this. Wow, go Texans. That'd be crazy. Imagine if that works. So what's that? 150. Yeah. Oh, I know, because they would have been like the same too. So yeah, that's it. All good, Jamie. We'll probably, and you know what, in the future as well. In the future, guys, I'll probably try and have a bit more a better schedule. Maybe if I have a chance, I can have a better schedule and try and go live at certain times on certain days. I want to try and be as organized as I can, so you guys know what time I'm going to be, because you know that DK Sports and those guys, they go live every day at a certain time. So I'm going to try and figure out a little schedule that I can probably go live twice a week. Twice a week would be good for the off season. I think 3 or 4 times, way too much. Twice a week, twice. How do you say that? 2 times a week, twice. Now I'm saying it weird. Twice a week. HDU. Yeah, that should be fine. So I thought I was saying that strange. No, I can't. Twix. I can't. Yeah, what time is it now? I gotta figure it out. Twice a week. I sound like I'm saying that weird. Yeah, probably like from 8 p.m. I'd say it'll be my lunchtime. I don't know what I was saying, but no, I won't bring back the wheel. The wheel's dead. The wheel was a bad idea. It's not good content. The better content is, who will the Pittsburgh Steelers sign at this receiver, at this spot? What will the Steelers do with the second round pick? Who should the Steelers cut? Hit Y for yes, hit no, hit N for no. Anyways, I'm getting out of here, guys. That's it. Yeah, we're out, man. It's sad, isn't it? It's sad. Yeah, I listen to them quite a lot too. I listen to DK. I listen to Steelers. Alan Saunders and the other guy, Zachary someone. Steelers something. Steelers something. I don't know what it is. All right, let's get out of here. What do we want to do? Should we do this? With the 20th overall pick in the 2024 draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select. I'll see you later.